Here he goes.
Huh. So it's probably at this moment where I thought to myself, I can't believe I'm here. It wasn't because I'm afraid of heights. In fact, I love adrenaline rushes like this. It was because after all the effort, struggle, and confusion, I couldn't believe I actually made it to the Great Canadian Bungee. That crane right there is 200 meters tall, and I feel like that was the smallest obstacle so far on this trip. So that kid on the left is Tyler. He's the genius behind this trip. His mind is just a fountain of ideas, and one day he really got the urge to go to Canada. That's when one day at the end of our senior year, Tyler suggested that we go to Canada and wrap up our entire high school career.
Yeah, they really are.
Guys, Canada. Oh man, Canada's way too expensive. Camping. Camp. Hotel rooms.
Yeah, when do you think we're gonna do this?
Summer session, week afterwards.
Tyler, what are we gonna do in Canada?
What aren't we gonna do in Canada?
Tyler refuted every excuse we could throw his way. In the end, there wasn't a reason not to go to Canada. We began shouting out ideas left and right. Anything that any one of the four of us wanted to see, we put on the list. Next came the numerous Google searches on exciting things to do in the city. We were going to visit cities like Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City. There was definitely a ton to do. I had a huge goofy smile on my face when I saw that there was a cave to explore near Ottawa. I could already picture getting soaked up to my chest exploring this pitch black cave. I could picture myself at the CN Tower, Niagara Falls, and the vast wilderness of Algonquin Provincial Park. I got so caught up in planning for Canada, I almost forgot I still have to graduate. I was to the point where I thought I knew every detail down to the last penny. The summer came and went, and Josh got back from summer session at Penn State. This meant it was time for Canada. Our noble steed on this journey was a Chrysler Town & Country that we dubbed the Tank. That morning we stuffed the tank to capacity with every possible camping gear we could need. For a bunch of lazy high school seniors, the amount of preparation put into this was impressive. Josh's snores filled the car as we got close to the Canadian border. That's when I saw it. Blackness. According to the GPS, we were headed towards a dark abyss. Either that or nicked in by the map pack from Canada.
Damn it, Nick. Why didn't you know your GPS didn't have Canada instructions? How was I supposed to find that out? I don't know.
To say the least, we didn't all keep our cool after finding out we were headed straight for a foreign land with no maps. We did the best we could with the road signs. After all, Niagara Falls is pretty hard to miss. We took a break from the panic at the falls, but it was only a temporary intermission from the real problem, which would be heading into Canada completely blind. The last problem I thought I would have in Canada was a language barrier. We stopped to ask directions at a gas station, but we didn't have any luck.
I started studying at like 5, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to eat.
So what do we got? Alright, so there was this Canadian Indian named Nazir, and we had no idea what he was saying. So do we know where we're going? No. On to number 2. Come on.
Finally, we found a store clerk who had a smartphone. She gave us direction to the park's daytime area, which, little do we know, is completely different from the campsite. In other words, we were still lost. Luckily, the daytime area had directions to the campsite, but it was nighttime by the time we set up camp. No one wanted to talk. The stern look on our faces expressed our defeat and exhaustion. The next morning, the four of us decided that this would be the end of our problems. We sat down, planned out the road ahead of us, and examined the map that my mom had packed us. Cooperation then became the key to our success. The first day may have been really off from our master plan, but that wasn't going to stop us from reaching the climax of our trip, the Great Canadian Bungee. Which leads us back to this.
Yeah.
We were naive about what it's like to go out on our own. We thought we had planned everything, yet a tiny detail derailed our first day. We still made it to every one of our goals though, because we used overcoming this roadblock to learn for the future. Not having the GPS did make us work harder, but because of it, every high point after became a bigger victory. The first day actually turned into one of the funniest stories from our trip. Learning from our mistake made everything turn out better than expected.